my beautiful lock individuals, and welcome back to SheDD's channel. If you are new, feel free to subscribe, ring the bell so that you get a notification. I post every Monday. And if my energy seems a bit today, bear with me. I am super tired. I almost did not record this video today. So moving onward, I have talked about thickening my locks in the past, how I thicken them. I have a video I'm gonna link in the description if you have not seen it, on how to thicken your locks naturally. Now there are other ways, and I decided, you know what, if I'm gonna give you the information, I'm gonna give you the whole information. That's how I did it, but I also feel like it's only right that I discuss the other methods, which is the combination methods. There are, I'll say, 4 methods of combination. There's natural two-strand twists, needle and thread or threading, and then the crochet lock method. So I'm just gonna go in on each of them, show how each of them are done, the benefits, well, the pros and the cons of each, and you can just decide for yourself which combination method is best for you. So guys, hopefully my energy is gonna pull in as this video continues, because I feel like wow. But yeah, let's jump in. Fortunately, I have some legs or twin dragons left in my head, and I'm going to be using, oh, perfect, just like that. This one is an example. I started, I guess, the first one, the natural way, which is how this was done. I started by just letting my hair combine on its own, and from the root it just grew. As you can see, this is when my locks were shorter, when they were up here. And I was like, oh, I should just let them come. Such a big difference. Oh my god. Look at that growth, guys. Anyway, so at that point I decided, you know what, I'm just gonna let it stay. If it wants to combine, it combine. And this is how much it has grown since then. This is the combination since then. You guys can get that good look. This is the natural method that I was talking about. Combination type 1, natural method, growing it out. The pro of doing it this way is you keep volume. Your hair doesn't lose its volume. It stays poofy or thick. If you like having voluptuous hair, it stays thick and poofy. Number 2, there's no elastics, no thread, and it's aside from the fact that you don't have to do anything. I think that, yeah, I'm gonna use that as a point 2. You don't have to do anything. Point 3 on the pros list. It's just effortless. You just let it happen, and it is really awesome and perfect for either semi freeform or fully freeform folks. If us people who don't mind our hair being, you know, out there, this is perfect for us. So those are the 3 pros. And the cons, if you choose to see it as cons, are you will have the legs, you're gonna have this going on, but this is also what adds the volume, because it makes your hair in total, you know, poofier. But anyway, you see there's a pro, as a con, that you will have legs, you will have twin dragons, you'll have this going on, which, as we all know, I don't mind. I think it's super cute. And your lock will only combine at the root growing out. It will not carry down to the shaft. These will forever be legs until you decide to either combine them or cut them. They will forever be separate. Yeah, the wait time to get the thicker lock is going to be, yeah, it's like I said, you have to wait for it to grow. I had to wait however long it's been since I decided to combine for all of that to grow, so I can have this thick lock at the root until about here. So yeah, this is not for those who want the instant thickness or wants to, you know, cut their locks, because you will lose a lot of length. This is a lot of length for me to cut off, and it's not that serious for me. So pros and cons of that. Next up is the two-strand twist locking method, and I think we all know how this one goes. You just simply, let me get in a better position for you guys to see. We simply twist and twist and twist, and I probably shouldn't be saying twist all the time, it's kind of annoying, but yeah. And you secure it. Normally it's secured with an elastic, or if you want, like a lot of people don't know, you can sew it together. Personally, I prefer to, if I was to do this, I would prefer to sew it as opposed to have elastics. This is how it's going to look. A lot neater, because especially if it's done wet, like after a fresh wash, it's gonna look a lot neater than this. But this is the general look of the two-strand twist combination. So you can see it's still generally the same thickness as the natural combination, and I love how I can just do like a little side-by-side comparison basically. And this is it, yeah. Now the pros and cons. Get back in position. Okay. The pros and cons of the two-strand twist combination: no lock legs, no lock legs, no lock fingers, no twin dragons. It's just one. The appearance of thicker locks right away, as opposed to waiting for it to grow. The locks will appear thicker, you know, appear, not actually be thicker, but appear thicker instantly. It's a pretty secure combination. Like when it's done tight and right, it doesn't, you know, you don't have to worry about it unraveling, you don't have to worry about it coming out. Once it's secured at the end properly, either with elastic or like I say, using the needle and thread, it's, yeah. So this is like instant. Look, we all know, I think everyone who has locks has rocked a two-strand twist stand. We all know how it just makes your hair thicker instantly, you know. The cons of this: elastic stay in your hair forever. I am not a fan of elastic hair. I have accidentally left elastics in my hair once or twice after I do certain styles, and I thought I got all out. I left one in, and it where the elastic sat, it literally like shrank the lock. So it was like it's like an 8. I have an 8 on one of my locks, and I'm always so aggravated when I feel it. You can't see it, but I can feel it when I run my hands through it. I'm like, oh, this is where that elastic was. So I am not a fan of elastics on hair long periods of time. I would say either that or the thread, but either way, you're still gonna have something in your hair. It's either gonna be thread at the end of your hair or elastic at the end of your hair, until you decide to either fully carry it down, fully combine, or cut it. So be prepared to live with elastics or thread in your hair for the rest of your lives. The second con is the loss of length. When we two-strand twist, the hair does get shorter. It's not noticeable on my hair because, like I say, a lot of my hair is already combined, so it's only like this end that I'm doing. But when you're starting, if you're starting from the root, your hair will definitely pull up more. So doing this method of combination, you will lose some length. Third method is the thread, needle and thread threading. Not sure what the official name is, so thread it is. So you're going to want to get weaving thread, the thread that you weave with, and the needle also that you do the weaving and thread with, because it's hair. We wanted to, and notice this thread is just made for hair. So depends on how many locks you're doing. You're gonna need a couple of these. Now, tied at the end, like you see how this has, I don't know if you can see that. Oh, come on, adjust. Gonna clip that off. We don't need too much excess thread because those will be bulging out. Gonna get this end to be as tight and, come on, zoom for me, fix, zoom. Anyway, you get the point. So I think I need to put my hand on the back of it. Yeah, so you want this to be as neat as possible in the end. All up in my grill. Now what I prefer to do is to start from the inside. You don't want to like just carry it around. You don't want to make the thread visible. So what you're going to do is start from the inside and carry it in from top going to the bottom. And because the needle is curved, it's naturally gonna kick out and curve out. Then we're gonna pull this through. See that? See how that basically disappeared? That's what we want. And because we carried it in on the adjacent side, we're gonna go up and down. I'm trying to give you guys a great angle, but my hands are gonna be in the way. Bear with me. So the adjacent side, we're gonna go up. I'm gonna go deeper than that, but yes. And then we're gonna pull. Bada bing. See that? No thread. Can't really see the thread. And you're just gonna repeat the method. Like I say, you don't want to go out or around. You want to really control that, because the control is what's gonna cause your thread to be visible or not. And you see how we're just here, and we're just gonna go back to the other side and pull it through. And just keep repeating the process from side to side. Top going down. Make sure to pace your distancing quite well, because you don't want to loop the thread through. You can do this a couple times if you want, and then close it. Nice and tight. See that? Don't mind this line here. This is me carrying it up a bit too far. So when you are carrying it back up, don't carry it all the way back up. Stay close to where you were last inserted, which is right here. So in reality, if I was doing this professionally, I would tie off right here, right exactly where I came back out. I just want you guys to take a look at the knot. Then we're going to clip this as low as we can possibly take it without affecting the knot. And I always say, give it a little rub. Welcome combination. Like I said, this line is only here because I carried it too far back up when I was tying it off. If I had kept it down there, this black line, it would not be visible at all. And that is the thread method. The pro is, like I say, another pro, you get an instant look, instant combined look. And if you look at it from a distance, it would really take someone like really have to would inspect your hair to see that it's two separate locks still. Because from far, it does have the appearance of one. So it does, yeah, it's secure. You know, you won't have to worry about it coming out, coming undone, similar to the two-strand twist. But this look does look more natural than the two-strand twist. So, natural look and the fact that you have the combined look instantly, those are the pros. The cons, thread will live in your locks forever. Thread is not a bad thing in locks. I don't see it as a flaw per se to have thread in your locks. Once, like I said, once it's done properly, it will not show. And it doesn't have any side effects to the lock. It doesn't do anything negative to the lock. So it's all up to, you know, what you prefer. Do you mind? Don't you mind? It is what it is. It is whatever. I have combined some of my clients' locks the same way, and you can't tell, and they're perfectly fine with it. You can't feel it, you can't see it, you can't notice it. But the thread will stay there forever. Another con, if you have dark hair, I have dark hair, and you thread, and it's not done 100% right, and you bleach your hair and color it, those threads will show. Threads will show up like a, remember me? You put me in here 2 years ago, you forgot? Yeah, they will show back up. Like I said, once it's not done properly, and enough to where, you know, especially, I think it depends on your type of hair. So because if your hair is really, really thin, really fine, and even if it's done properly, the transparency in the light blonde locks can still show up the thread, the black or dark brown thread. So that's the con of that. Now for the crochet method, I have my brush, and yes, my brush matches my hair almost, but close enough. This is a very coarse, hard brush. And what I'm doing before I just jump into crocheting, you want to like raggy your lock as much as possible. Right, this is like my raggying tool. You want the locks to fuzz, because that's gonna help a lot, trust me. You want the locks as fuzzy as you can get them before we start crocheting. So what we're going to do is basically choke the locks into combining with each other, and it's just the in and out method. You can twist it if you want. I don't like twisting because to me twisting is like way harder, so I prefer to leave them side by side and just start choking. Do not mind my facial expressions, guys. You know I'm extra sometimes. I'm doing this, guys. I'm not just going in like one direction. I'm like up, down, side, left, right, every which way that I can. All right, guys. This is just, as you can see, I didn't finish because I don't plan on keeping this combined, so I don't want to do this properly. This is one lap. I call it one lap because with this method, you're gonna need to go over it a couple of times. Look at the hello. Gonna need to go over it a couple of times before it looks more seamless. It will get more seamless than this, but let's say I had completed this to the end, and I would have started at the top and go back down again. Doing this much took me 10 to 15 minutes from where I started here. Where did I start? Can't even remember. From like here to here took me 15 minutes. Just one lap. Just one lap. Cons, pros, seamless instant lock look, just like that. Well, not really just like that, but yeah, it doesn't look locked. It is seamlessly locked. It is instantly locked. So that combination is pretty much explanatory. And then the no threads, no legs, no elastics. Pro. Cons. It's a couple of cons, at least for me. It is time consuming. If you're doing your whole head, this is a process and will not happen overnight. If you want something quicker, I suggest going to a professional who can just whip. Even they will take some time in doing that. Depends on your lock count, depends on how much you want to combine at a time. So it is time consuming. If you're doing it yourself, be prepared for sore fingers. I have stabbed my fingers like numerous times doing this, and I got pretty. I think that's one of the reasons why I stopped. I'm like, Earl, you're not doing this professionally. You're doing this just to show people. So just quit it. Just quit. I am bummed because I do want to show you guys how seamless it can look. So because I think about a year or two ago, I combined one of my locks the exact same way, and I will find it for you guys so you can see how seamless it is. But anyway, yeah, back to the sore thumbs, sore fingers, because these little things, they're not sharp to just touching, but when you are jerking, stabbing, whatever this motion means, you can cut yourself. You will have little cuts on your fingers. So be prepared for that, because that is like, when I did the one over here, I was planning on doing all of them. After like an hour I spent to combine one lock, and the pain and the cramping, I was like, this, hell no. Just gonna let my hair naturally combine. I tried. So this is definitely for the patient, the strong, the determined, because like I said, this is a process. Other than that, yeah, there is another way when people distress the lock, like use the hook itself and almost take the lock apart and then bring it back together. I'm not a big fan of that unless you're going to a professional. I wouldn't recommend doing that, because when you do distress the lock and comb out a lot of the lock, some of your hair will come out. Your hair will come out, and even though you combine the two stress ends back, which is what I did on that side, I'm going to show you, my lock was just softer than it was before, and I'm like, break is this so soft? Because in distressing the lock, in pulling the hair out of the lock, there are hairs that fall, those hairs can't be put back, you know. So let me go find this lock for you guys. Bear with me. This is the lock that two locks that I distressed. You can see I got a little hump. And as you can see, you can tell from where I started, it's up to here was naturally locked. Then I distressed the two locks, and then I brought them together with the crochet hook, and this lock is so soft and light. Look, I have like a little bend from the difference in my hair because when I did distress, like I said, a lot of the hair combed out and came out. So when I did combine, there wasn't the same volume of hair from both locks. So, like I said, it looks fine. It looks great, except for a little bump. But it is softer, it is flimsier, and it looks like a broken leg. The rest of my locks just kind of like stand out. This one definitely has like a broke leg look. So that's why I didn't show the distressing part of it. Go to a professional if you want that distress and put together. But this is how seamless it can look. You can't even tell that this was 2 locks, right? Beautiful, beautiful. So yeah, guys, thank you for watching. If you like my content, please like, subscribe, comment. I really appreciate your likes and your comments. They mean a lot to me. And thank you for watching. And I hope you guys have a wonderful week. And see you next Monday. Peace and love, my babies. Bye.